Okay, so let's get a couple things straight. Black Lives Matter is not for black people, folks. It's for the system. It's run by Jewish dollars, okay? And it's like it has the word black in it, so black people are like, "Oh, that's for me." Um, Economics, that's for black people. That's what we need to be focusing on. How we could pull our resources together and build a community based on uh, values that we all share as black people. If that can't be done, then black lives don't even matter, fam. If you can't take your money and put it towards a cause that is towards unifying people who look like you, then black lives never mattered, right? Let's also look at it this way. Um, we have a movement called hip hop, and we have all kinds of artists who are millionaires for decades now. And we don't put the pressure on them to pull their resources together to help the community to create infrastructure that is self-serving. All we do is buy into the dream that we can be just as rich as they are. Actually, let's do this. I've been doing I put my video up before saying this slavery thing is confusing because if you heard me speak on it, I don't really believe transatlantic slave trade is how we got here. But irregardless of that, when you just look at just the numbers, there's a lot of black people who had black slaves, like free blacks, because the first slaves that came here, they were indentured. I don't know the term. I don't remember the name of the term. Or I do, but I can't spell it out in my head to just say it properly right now. But servants, that would be servants for like 7 years and then they're free. And the first person to ensure that their slave would not be free was a black person. They fought in the Supreme Courts. Now, whether that is white supremacy that allowed that black person to get away with that, I don't really think so, because these lands were occupied and run by black people first. It just allowed white people to get into that hustle. Oh, we can break up families and find money for ourselves by having slaves. Free labor. But that's something you find in every culture, and that's something that exists to this day. Black people still got slaves. Black people still investing in the prison complex. We're not unified, fam. Like, we're not going to be unified on that front. The information just needs to come out, because the race war tensions are rising. Meanwhile, Russia and USA are really trying to go at it. And Canada is pulled into that. The allies are pulled into that. And there's information that's like months old, meaning that whatever those pieces of information are, we're at a worse situation right now. But we're still focused on Lil Wayne and pipeline this and Hillary and Trump. Y'all know Hillary's a criminal, but she's a woman, so women are like, yeah, we need that woman in the presidency. Like, that's the focus in y'all's head. Just like prior, in black people's minds, it was, we need a black person in the presidency. But having Obama there didn't do anything for black people, because black people we already get what we want. We're victims of a system from our perspective, and we continue to use that to get whatever we want. So, you have white people who are born poor, just as a black person is born poor, and they can't use that race card. They can't. So that might sound coonish and Uncle Tom to you, but I really don't care, because those are the facts. All lives matter from that perspective, fam. If you poor and you getting fucked by the system, it ain't because you black. It's because you or white. It's because you poor. So the second we stop looking at the differences and we start looking at the elite, that's when things are gonna change. That's just in general how things are gonna change. Got to stop the arguments, stop the small conversation, the small talk, and let's look at the big picture. The biggest picture you could look at. That's what I know. All these other things, it's confusing because we see black people taking trips to Dubai and whatever, and the slave trade in the Arab slave trade was worse than anything you could talk about on this planet. That's why there still ain't no black people there, because when they took their slaves, they turned them into eunuchs. Majority of them died. They chopped off the man's parts, and he would either bleed to death or get some kind of disease or sickness from infection or whatever, just so that he wouldn't procreate while being a eunuch slave. The women would be used to sex slaves, and it still goes on to this day. But we ain't really focused on ending slavery because the prison complex still exists, and people are like, nah, we gotta follow what the government says. So I ain't really trying to hear all y'all cry this about race and that, fam. Like today is the 4th of November, and it's the official first time I'm letting go of this race fight. I'm letting it go. I've been saying let's let go of the white man narrative. This race fight is the white man's narrative. And he's getting rich and richer and richer off of the tension. So I'm letting go of it, and I hope you let go of it too. And y'all just leave guys like Lil Wayne alone. You know what I mean? I'll leave Drake alone. Okay, if y'all leave Lil Wayne alone, I'll leave Drake alone. Right? Because they all the rich elite anyways. Let's attack them for being the elite, not for being black power or white power or any of that dumb shit. Because when you look at the genetics of white and black people, we like 0.0 degrees off. Like there's most likely white people who genetically closer to who have white skin than black people, that you will look around and think that you can share their blood. You don't want to look at the science. That shit will confuse the fuck out of you. Nobody want to do real research. Everybody just want to follow media narratives. Well, if you do your research on the Jews when they came here from Germany and how they implemented this amazing Hollywood system that has infiltrated all sides of media, and they implemented this great banking system that runs our country, and they use black culture to continue to perpetuate their version of how this city or how this place should be run, country, and and all that, you'll be like, damn, I am being bamboozled from every single angle you could think of, from how I should eat, how I should look at people, how I should look at women, how I should look at men, how I should look at races of all kinds, how I should look at religions, how I should look at atheists, how I should look at scientists, how I should look at diplomas, and how I should look at people who are not educated in colleges and universities. You have been given a narrative for every single aspect of life. How you should look at the snow, how you should look at water, how you should look at every damn thing that is considered useful or non-useful. There's nothing that you are looking at life for what it is based on you knowing and experiencing and reaching into a higher consciousness directly by your experience. It's scary, fam. Because if Russia's telling its people, get ready, about to nuke some people, or we might be nuked, but here on our side, we still focus on all kind of garbage, that tells you something. That tells you something in itself. Come on, our media is messed up, dog. Our social media messed up, dog. Anyways, you don't know.